It is Thursday, July 16th, 2020, and you are tuned into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Atomic Speedway was in action last night for their Wednesday Summer Series for 410 sprint cars. Cale Conley started on the pole with Ian Madsen to his outside. From the drop of the green flag, it was all Cale Conley out front. He was never challenged, at times leading by multiple seconds over the field. He led all 30 laps to take home the $5,000 win. Brandon Wimmer finished second, Cole Duncan third. Ian Madsen battled back from a flat tire to finish fourth, and Ricky Peterson made a late move to finish in fifth. I love a good midweek dirt race. There's just something about, it being the middle of the week, everybody's home from work, in the evening, and getting an opportunity to sit down and watch a race. And I think it's a good move for some of these tracks to schedule races midweek, especially when you have a streaming partner like Atomic has in Flow and Speed Shift. There isn't nearly as much competition during the week, and it's an opportunity for tracks like Atomic and like some of these other tracks that do some similar things to kind of be showcased in front of audiences that aren't being pulled in multiple directions. So always fun to get to see a little bit of midweek dirt racing. In other racing last night, Stewart Friesen won the modified feature at Fonda Speedway over Matt Shepard and Larry White. That race was live on Dirt Track Digest TV. Now that I've kind of got the All-Star Circuit of Champions added to the DIRTRACKR.com analytics project, I've been wanting to jump in and kind of take a look at some numbers and do a little more deep dive on some of the All-Star guys. And I want to continue to add races. I've got all of the 2020 races in right now for the All-Stars, but I want to go back and add some past year races as well. But I think we can take a look at a few guys right now, and one of those guys I wanted to take a look at with Aaron Reutzel. He's dominated that series a lot in recent years, and I figured he's probably a good place to start. I think he's also an interesting driver to take a look at because when you look around sprint car racing at guys who could be kind of next to compete full-time with the World of Outlaws, his name is always close to the top of that list. And besides having run full-time with the All-Stars for several years here in a row, he's also made a ton of Outlaw starts in the last couple of seasons as well, so we can kind of compare and contrast his numbers across both series. First up, kind of taking a look at his numbers with the All-Stars. So far in 2020, through 25 races, Aaron Reutzel has a sizable lead in the standings over Corey Eliason. He's got 7 feature wins so far, and if it wasn't for Kyle Larson having a detour back into dirt racing this year, it would certainly be a lot more than 7. Reutzel's average start in 2020 is just a hair under 6th right now with an average finish of about 4th. He's become that driver, I feel like, where if he isn't leading an All-Star race, you're kind of looking back through the top 5 or the top 10 to see where he is and if maybe he's on his way towards the front. It seems like he's always, kind of lurking, and you're kind of just waiting for him to kind of make that move towards the front. As we've talked about these before with these series, these bigger national touring series and bigger regional series, it's not necessarily also just about winning. It's about being as consistent as possible. And Reutzel has that too with the All-Stars. In 25 races, he has 21 top 10 finishes this season, so certainly has the consistency to go along with the ability to win on any given night. With the All-Star format, including a 4-car invert in the heat races, passing does become very important for a driver to set himself up in the heats for the remainder of the night, and Reutzel is good there as well. He actually leads all drivers this year with a heat race plus minus of plus 22, so that means he's advanced 22 positions from start to finish in heat races this season. He's also 3rd in feature plus minus at plus 44. Only Greg Wilson with an astounding plus 74 and Kyle Larson with a plus 45 are better this season in making moves in features. Besides his incredible results with the All-Stars, like I mentioned before, I wanted to take a look at Reutzel's Outlaw finishes over the last few years and see how he stacked up against those guys. In 52 starts back through the 2018 season, Reutzel has 2 Outlaw wins, oddly both coming in California at Tulare and Paris. I find it a little interesting a guy from Texas who runs a series based around Ohio has 2 Outlaw wins in California. I'm not sure if it's just the track style out there or what that is for him. It seems, for him to be able to run good out there is something that's kind of interesting to me. His average finish over those 52 starts is about 12, and his results include 14 top 5s and 24 top 10s. If you look at his finishes in 2018 and through kind of that first half of the 2019 season, his results are actually pretty mixed. It very much seems to be kind of feast or famine. He had top 5 runs often, but then he would back that up with, an appearance in a B main or maybe finishing in the back of a feature. But since the Saturday of Kings Royal last season, something seems to have turned around for Reutzel. After a 24th place finish in the Royal, Reutzel ripped off 8 straight top 5 runs, with the Outlaws, including 5th at the Knoxville Nationals. the ability to have a stretch like that really shows a guy like Reutzel can be a serious competitor full-time with the Outlaws. We've been talking about this a lot lately, with guys like Sheldon Haudenschild and even Brad Sweet this year. I know he's had trouble here lately, but, you have to be able to string together those top 5 nights and those top 10 nights, and clearly Reutzel can do that with what he did towards the end of last season. His 2020 results is kind of difficult to look at. He's made 6 scattered Outlaw starts. He ran the 3 nights at Volusia. He ran Knoxville back in May when the series got restarted again, and he's got 2 nights at Pevely. If you throw out that Knoxville night in which he blew an engine dominating his heat race, he actually ended up scratching for the remainder of the night and was credited with 19th in the B. If you throw that out, his worst finish is 22nd at Pevely, and then the other 4 starts also all ended with top 10 runs. So again, still showing that consistency this year, even with a little bit of that bad luck that he had at Knoxville. Reutzel has said in the past he's not ready to go run full-time with the World of Outlaws right now. With as busy as that schedule is and his family and things like that, he's just not ready to do that yet, and I certainly cannot blame him for that. But I think if you kind of take a look at, his obvious ability, to run well on a nightly basis, be, somebody who can challenge for wins, crossed with his really aggressive driving style, I think he would be a welcome addition to the full-time Outlaw field. I think he would be really fun to watch on a nightly basis, mix it up, with Donnie Schatz, with Brad Sweet, with Logan Schuchart, Darren Pittman, all of these guys that run with the Outlaws. I think he would be really fun and certainly would be a contender on a night-to-night basis. And I certainly hope we get a chance to see it someday. I think, if we don't get an opportunity to see that, I think that would, almost be criminal on a certain level, just with as good as he is and has become here in recent years in the sprint car. But just wanted to take a look at Reutzel's numbers. I think there's some interesting stuff in there, and we'll continue to look at some other guys and kind of compare and contrast across series, with some of these sprint car guys. And then, I talked about this before, but I want to continue adding series as well. I would like to add some of the USAC stuff here, in the coming weeks, months, hopefully, and then also the Luke Soul Late Model Dirt Series. Those are kind of the 2 things that I have circled as series I would like to add next to the DIRTRACKR Analytics project. So I'll keep you posted on that as we move along. A bunch of new podcast episodes this week from your favorite shows. Wing Nation had Philip Dietz and Cale Conley earlier in the week, and then NARC King of the West GM Jim Allen. Rip the Fence has Jack Hewitt and Brady Bacon for their 100th episode. Congrats to those guys on reaching 100 shows. They certainly do a very nice job over there. Top Shelf has Elliot Omdahl and Skylar Devaney. The Dirt Nerds are recapping Ohio Speed Week. And then there's a new Rigsby report this week with Billy Moyer. The Dirt from Knoxville last week had Justin Henderson as well, which I did not talk about last week. You can find these and more episodes all the time at DIRTRACKR.com/podcast. Those update automatically, so as soon as there are new episodes, they will show up there. So jump over there and maybe discover a new show you don't listen to, or check out some cool episodes. Taking a look here at the DIRTRACKR daily pay-per-view schedule, a bunch of shows on the docket tonight. Dirt on Dirt and Flow Racing have the Southern Nationals from Sonoya Raceway tonight. Dirt Vision has Summer Nationals action from Spoon River Speedway. Fast 4 Media has Outlaw Non-Wing action from Circus City Speedway. And then Flow Racing has USAC 24/7, and then both Flow Racing and Speed Shift have action from Kossuth County Speedway. They've got micro mini mods, compacts, cruisers, hobby stock, sport mods, stock cars, and modifieds tonight. If you want to see that full list of shows tonight, you can find that at DIRTRACKR.com/watch tonight. That is updated every single day. That's the show for today. Hope everybody has a good Thursday. You can find DIRTRACKR daily on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or where you get podcasts. Please subscribe and leave a review. You can also watch the show every day on YouTube and Facebook. You can email the show at info@dirttracker.com, and you can follow along at facebook.com/dirttracker, twitter.com/dirttracker, and the website itself, dirttracker.com. You can follow me personally on Twitter at Justin_Fiedler, and don't forget to sign up for the DIRTRACKR weekly newsletter. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow for more DIRTRACKR Daily.